Good afternoon and welcome to this live commentary of Norwich City against Newcastle United. A quick look through the lineups to start us off. Starting off with the home side, Norwich City, on their first home game back in the Premier League since the 2015-16 season when they were relegated from the division. In goal, they have goalkeeper Tim Krul playing against his former club today. They have Aarons at right back, Hanley and Godfrey a centre-back partnership, and Lewis at left back. In holding midfield is Tribal and Leitner. Buendia is on the right with Steeperman in a cam role. Down the left is Cantwell, and then leading the line is Championship top goal scorer from last season, Timo Pukki. And for Newcastle United, it's Dubravka in goal. Shaw, Lascelles and Dummett complete a back three. On the right, it's Kraft, Hayden, Shelby and Key in the middle with Ritchie on the left. And it's Almiron and Jolinton up front. So as we are underway at Carrow Road, and Norwich get us underway, and they're already running it forward with Trybill, who is then fouled by Matt Ritchie early on. So Norwich will get a free kick in their own half with 36 seconds on the clock. Both teams desperate to get their first 3 points of the season. Both teams today, both Norwich and Newcastle, tipped for relegation. So one important day, even this early on in the season, is for both of them. Could mean a tense game here, or it could mean a game full of goals, which it has been in the last 4 meetings between the two sides. They've averaged 6 goals per game. As we are a minute in here at Carrow Road, Norwich have a free kick in the Newcastle half now, down the left-hand side, which they've taken short towards Cantwell, who gets a ball into the back post. It's gone over everyone, but Buendia will pick it up, and then he plays it back to Godfrey. And now Hanley, Norwich back inside their own half. He plays it down the left towards Jamel Lewis. In towards Pukki. Back to Tribal. Tribal, who skips past Hayler, gets it in towards Steeperman, looking for Tribal again down the left. He gets a ball in and it deflects behind for the first Norwich City corner. It was a block from Lascelles. It was actually Leitner running forward, a nice 1-2 with Steeperman. They went behind for a corner which would be taken by the young right winger Buendia. Just down the left hand side for Norwich City. And then the ball goes in and it's headed away by Lascelles. It will come for Max Aarons, who plays it all the way back to goalkeeper Tim Krul, now in their own half. Back down the right towards Max Aarons, pressure from Jolinton. He gets past him and then Tribal finds Buendia down the right hand side. A chance to get a ball in towards Pukki in the middle. And then it was deflected, but then a second ball in which is headed away by Dummett. Jolinton for Newcastle, trying to break away on this counter-attack, but Norwich win it straight back. A positive start for them. Tribal down the right towards Buendia. Buendia trying to get past Dummett, who won it back. And is then fouled just by the corner flag. So Newcastle get a free kick in their own half. A chance for them to get a bit of the ball for the first time in the only 3 minutes here at Carrow Road. It's going to be taken by Dubravka. For Norwich, it was a disappointing opener. It was always going to be difficult for them against Liverpool last Friday night. That was the game that opened up this year's Premier League season, a 4-1 defeat. It was just as hard for Newcastle playing Arsenal at home. They lost 1-0, a second half goal from Aubameyang, which leaves both these teams coming into this game pointless, and for Newcastle goalless so far this season. Norwich on the ball, Hanley plays it back to Krul. A bit of pressure on him as the bouncing ball was chased by Jolinton as well. He deals with it and plays it out to Hanley down the right. His long ball forward, looking for Buendia. The Lascelles won the header out for a Norwich throw just inside their own half down the right hand side. Aarons takes it towards Tribal. Max Aarons looking that time for Steeperman. It was intercepted and then Lascelles plays it back to Dubravka. We will be keeping you up to date with other scores across the grounds. And there has already been an early goal in this week's 3 o'clock games. Aston Villa a goal down against Bournemouth in their return to Villa Park in the Premier League. They were relegated on the same season as Norwich the last time they were in this division. So we will update that for you on the bottom of your screen. Buendia for Norwich. And then a ball forward for Pukki, and Pukki's groping in behind. He's got options in the middle, still going Pukki. Cuts it back towards Stiepermann, and he's hit it straight at Dubravka. And Newcastle can get it away. A big chance for Norwich early on. Now Newcastle counter with Ritchie. A ball towards Jolinton in behind. Hanley was there for Norwich. Max Aarons plays it forward towards Leitner, looking for Buendia, intercepted by Ritchie. But then Norwich have got it back here, and it's Leitner plays it down the left towards Jamal Lewis in space, inside the Newcastle half, running forward. At far, gets a ball in towards Stiepermann, who mishit it. It will come for Pukki down the right hand side. Ritchie's on him. He turns it back, plays it back to Max Aarons. Still attacking Norwich with Leitner. Stiepermann back out the right towards Max Aarons. No one really in the box for Norwich City as Pukki's come short. Here is Leitner. He's found Lewis down the left, once again in space. And now it's broken for Leitner on the edge of the box. He looks for Pukki. And the flag was up on the far side from the ball in towards Pukki. And Newcastle get a free kick inside their own penalty area. Norwich certainly starting the better side in the opening 5 minutes here at Carrow Road. An early chance, Pukki got in behind, cut it back towards Cantwell, and then his shot went straight at Dubravka. It's taken along the free kick by Newcastle, but it's gone straight back to Norwich, who look to play out with Max Aarons. Hanley. Godfrey to Lewis. Still inside their own half. Newcastle putting pressure with Kraft. Although Norwich get around him, and it's Lewis here on the ball. Inside his own half, finds Stiepermann out towards Tribal, and now it's Leitner who's got space to run forward into. Buendia's on the right, he plays it to the young Argentinian winger. In towards Stiepermann. Stiepermann getting a low ball in towards Pukki, and it's so unlike him as he misses the target from close range. Another chance for Norwich, which goes begging in the opening 10 minutes here. Stiepermann got free down the right, cut it back towards Pukki. He took his touch just outside the D, and then his shot across goal, which would have beaten Dubravka, but he beat the post as well. And it's wide, and it's the best chance and a huge chance for Norwich to take an early lead here at Carrow Road. So a goal kick for Newcastle. Steve Bruce will certainly be disappointed with the way his team have started. Goal kick's taken long. And it's gone all the way through towards the back post, and it was Ritchie free on the back post from a goal kick for Newcastle. He was down the right hand side in the box. He struck to a ball on the half volley from close range down the right hand side, but he struck it over the bar. A chance matter nothing for Newcastle. Maybe that might get them going here at Carrow Road after what's been a disappointing opening 9 minutes. Tim Cool from the goal kick plays it short to Godfrey. Lewis down the left, long ball forward, looking for Stiepermann. He finds Leitner, and now it's Tribal. Tribal again, looking to run forward for Norwich, and we just had a problem with the broadcasting of which we're watching this for commentary. It's just cut back a few seconds, so we'll get you updated. We're back to where Tribal's on the ball running forward for Norwich. When Dia's in behind, Tribal cuts back though. Still on the ball here, he's being pressured by Key. The Newcastle central midfielder, Leitner. To Pookie, back out towards Aarons, down the right. Looking for Steeperman, and then he was tackled, but only as far as a Norwich man again. Tribal. Leitner, back to Tribal, and then chip ball over the top looking towards Pookie, went over everyone towards Dubravka in goal. So the best chance, or two chances really, coming for Norwich City in the opening 10 minutes. Two similar breaks down the right hand side, two cutbacks, and two shots off target for Norwich City. Lewis. Here's Hanley. Norwich inside their own half. 10 minutes on the clock. Gone now here at Carrow Road. Hanley again. To Lewis down the left, and he switches it looking for Buendia. Ritchie's trying to stay on him. Buendia breaks away. Here he is. He's cut back, trying to do a 1-2 with Aarons. It's fallen here for Leitner. Back into Buendia. Leitner again. Space for Lewis down the left hand side. It's play to Lewis in quite a narrow position. Tries to get past Fart. Gets the ball into the ball. It's hit away by Fabian Schär. Out for a Norwich throw down the left hand side. Lewis for Norwich City. Tribal back to Hanley. They've had the majority of the possession and the majority of the chances, Norwich City. As Hanley tries to break forward, plays it back to Max Aarons. Tribal back to Hanley again, and now it's Godfrey for the Yellows. Lewis. Back to Hanley. Lewis again down the left hand side. Norwich happy to keep the ball for now. Lewis back in towards Leitner. A bit of space now for Norwich as they've worked it well down the right hand side for Max Aarons. Buendia. Aarons. Buendia again. Back to Aarons. Norwich still happily keeping the ball. It's gone back inside their own half with Hanley now. And then a ball forward looking for Tribal. He couldn't control it and Newcastle can break with Shelby. Now it's Hayler. Down the right is Kraft. Kraft again down the right hand side. Inside the Norwich City half, Newcastle. They've played it back out into their own half with Lascelles. Now Dummett down the left hand side. Ritchie further forward. Back to Dummett again. Newcastle's first real spell of possession in this game. Schär. A long ball forward over the top looking for Joelinton, who has hardly had a touch. He might not even had a touch at all so far in this game as it goes into Cool's hands. More goals to report for you elsewhere. Bournemouth double their lead at Villa Park. They're now 2-0 up. And Everton lead at Goodison Park against Watford. Still 0-0 here after 13 minutes. Norwich having the better of the chances. There has been a stoppage though here at Carrow Road. It's Almiron, the Newcastle centre forward, down. It was a challenge from Cantwell, which he mistimed as he tried to head the ball. Both players went to head the ball. Almiron won it, and then Cantwell they went head to head with Almiron, and he's now taken off the pitch due to an injury. He looks fine. He's back on his feet, and he looks like he'll be coming straight back on here for Newcastle. will be a drop ball, which I would assume the Norwich City goalkeeper Tim Krul will hit back to the goalkeeper for Newcastle, Dubravka. We're just updating the scores at the bottom of the screen for you in the other 3 o'clock games. 3 goals elsewhere so far. 2-0 Bournemouth, 1-0 Everton. The rest of the games are 0-0. Plays back underway here at Carrow Road. Just having slight problems with the broadcasting that we use to commentate from. Slight connection issue, which we're trying to resolve for you, and we have resolved it now. In fact, we have it. It is frozen again. We're sorry about this. We are 15 minutes here at Carrow Road, and we're up to date with you from a Norwich City corner, which is in by Buendia, and out swinger looking for Hanley, and the header goes over the bar. Well, I'm very sorry to say to you, our continuous technical issues here at Carrow, from our broadcasting of Carrow Road. We're struggling to get the footage up, meaning it's difficult to commentate from. We may have to actually end the stream early. In fact, we will be doing that, so there will be a stream actually in 3 weeks' time. There is going to be a little break for this channel. But in 3 weeks' time, every Saturday at 3 o'clock, there will be live streams and live commentary. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.